Afternoon, everyone. How are we all doing today? So, topic of conversation today I wanted to cover. I've had a few questions in the last few weeks from clients, and a few questions come through from clients online about Sarah, what's your opinion on this diet, or what's your opinion on this way of dieting or this way of eating. So I just wanted to kind of answer those questions in this training this week. And I appreciate everyone's feedback, and it's great for me to, potentially help you guys. If someone has one question, most likely there's going to be someone else in this group that's going to have the same question. Now, I know there's a few other topics that clients want me to cover, which we'll be covering in the next couple of weeks as well. So watch out for your request, for the next few trainings. But this one I'm going to quickly cover today because, I've had a lot of questions this week, and I think this topic is very, very important. So I'm just going to get into it quickly. Now, firstly, when it comes to weight loss, I want you to start thinking about it as a long-term goal rather than a quick fix, okay? Because the problem is that when you are really focused on getting a quick result, you'll do whatever it takes to get that quick result. And sometimes doing whatever it takes is not always the best thing to do, okay? And a lot of that time, most people will do a extreme diet or extreme exercise, and they'll do it in a way that's not maintainable, and you can't maintain it. And what generally happens is you'll stop. So you'll go for a certain period of time of doing this extreme diet or extreme exercise regime, and you'll get to a point where you'll just hate it, and you'll stop, okay? And then you'll end up putting the weight back on plus more, okay? Because what happens is every time you do some kind of extreme diet or you do an extreme exercise regime, especially if it is extreme, sometimes you can really do some damage to your metabolism, okay? So very important that first things first is that you get your mindset right. You want to start thinking about weight loss as a long-term goal rather than a quick fix, okay? So when it comes to eating and when it comes to dieting, I always say that if you cannot maintain something, so, people come to me with different, do you think that I should cut out carbs, Sarah? What do you think about the vegan diet? What do you think about the paleo diet? What do you think about Atkins? All these different diets. And I always say, well, if you think that you can maintain that way of eating, then go for it, okay? Because that's what it's about at the end of the day. What we're trying to aim for here is to change your lifestyle to be healthier, instead of going on a diet quickly to get a quick result and then not being able to maintain it, okay? So who really wants a result for a couple of weeks, right? And then not having the result anymore and putting weight back on. So it's really about changing your lifestyle and making gradual changes. Most of the time, if you haven't been eating healthy and you haven't been eating healthy for a long time, it takes a while to really change your lifestyle to be more healthier. And sometimes gradual changes is the best way to actually get best results and actually change your lifestyle as well. So gradual is better. That's another reason why I hate diets as well, because you go from 0 to 100. You go from eating the way you are now, or eating crap, or eating takeaway, or whatever it is, to eating and almost starving yourself, okay? So you're going from 0 to 100. It's just, you just can't maintain that kind of thing, and you've got to allow your body to catch up as well. So here's my basic few rules, that I always follow or try to teach my clients. So like I said before, number one, if you find that you can't maintain, so for example, if you're currently replacing, let's just say a common one, replacing a lot of meals with shakes, right? Replacing it with supplements instead of eating real food, you've got to start thinking about, okay, so are you able to maintain that way of eating? So for example, a lot of them replace their breakfast, I think they do, and they also have a meal replacement for dinner, and then you have a proper meal for lunch. So if you're happy to do that for the rest of your life, go for it. But what generally happens is, and what I've seen happen before, is that people go on these extreme, they replace their meals with the shakes. They don't eat proper food, and they do it for, say, a couple of months' time, and they do lose a lot of weight. Don't get me wrong, they lose weight, but they're doing it the wrong way about it. They're doing it too quickly, and they're not doing it the right way in terms of changing your body composition. You're just doing it to lose weight. Now, weight, when you lose weight, it could mean you're losing muscle mass. It's not necessarily meaning that you lose fat, okay? And what you're trying to do here is lose fat. So, and what happens is they, don't change their body composition, and what they're doing is actually change their body to be skinny fat, okay? So what that means is you're skinny, yes, but you're also really flabbery. You're really flubbery, so you'll find that you'll have, your tummy will be loose, okay? You'll be skinny, yes, and you would have lost weight on the scales, yes, but your body composition is still, your body fat percentage is still high. Okay, and what happens is you do a little bit of damage to your metabolism, so when you actually go back to eating proper food again, which you will, okay, we need to eat proper food, your body's not quite sure how to handle it anymore, your metabolism's taken a little bit of a hit, so you'll just put on weight straight away, a lot quicker as well than what you're used to. Now, my experience, I'm just going to share with you my experiences with dieting myself and what happened to my body after I dieted, and it might hopefully deter you from doing that as well. So I remember my most probably recent, which is years and years ago, experience with dieting is when I did fitness model shows, okay? So, and I dieted very, very, very strictly for 16 weeks straight, okay? So I didn't have any cheat meals. I ate 6 times a day, and I was definitely in a calorie deficit. So I know myself now, and the knowledge that I have now, I wasn't eating enough calories for how active I was throughout the day, how much exercise I was doing as well. So I was really putting my body in that starvation mode, okay? I was creating a lot of stress in my body. My cortisol levels were really, really high, and what ended up happening was, of course, at the end of it, I, collapsed in a heap, basically. I, really burnt out my body, right? Because I wasn't eating enough fuel for the exercise that I was doing. My calories were too much in a deficit, and I wasn't eating enough variety as well. So in the last couple of weeks of dieting, I was eating chicken and asparagus, or white fish and asparagus for every single meal, including breakfast, okay? So, and I felt horrible. So I don't know about you, but every time I've ever, like in my whole life, anytime that I've ever gone on a diet, I always feel like absolute crap, okay? I always feel tired. I always feel like I'm starving, like really hungry. I'm really cranky. I feel depressed. You don't have a social life because you're concerned about, what you're going to eat next, or, whether you're going to wreck the diet. So you have a really bad mindset as well. You get super obsessed about the way that you look and whether you are actually losing weight, which is a really bad, mindset and, way of thinking. It's really bad to get into that kind of thinking pattern. It can cause you to have a little bit of a eating disorder as well, definitely. So, you start to have a little bit of body dysmorphia. So all these things, is horrible. You cannot maintain that way of feeling, okay? And it doesn't have to be that way. Everyone thinks, oh, for me to lose weight, I have to go on this terrible diet. It's going to feel terrible. It's going to make me depressed. I'm going to have to feel deprived. I'm going to have to give up eating proper food. I'm going to have to, starve myself in order to lose weight. But I'm telling you now, it doesn't have to be like that. And it's not like that, all right? Eating healthy and eating the right amount of food and the right amount of macronutrients for your body should feel amazing. You should actually start to feel better. You should start to feel more energized. You should start to feel happier because you're not hungry, right? Your body's not in that starvation mode, and you're actually feeding it the things that your body actually needs to function properly, okay? So get out of the mindset of thinking that every diet or eating clean is like going on a diet, because it's not. what it should be about is changing your lifestyle to be healthier, okay? Making healthier choices and feeding your body with the fuel and feeding your body with the nutrients that it needs in order to function properly. If you actually do it right, you'll actually feel better. So you'll know if you're doing it right, and you'll know if you're eating enough and enough for your body and enough of the right things. You'll know if you're doing it right if you feel better, okay? I'm telling you now. So when I finished that 16-week period, right, because I felt like absolute crap. At that time, you know, I was just starting out as a personal trainer, and, you know, we do long hours and everything's very physical, but I was weak. I was so weak, right, because I wasn't eating enough throughout the day. I was doing lots and lots of exercise, and things like my sleep patterns were affected, so I wasn't able to sleep properly because, first of all, I was overtraining. So whenever you overtrain, a lot of the times you either sleep a lot or you can't get to sleep properly. So I wasn't getting to sleep till like 2 a.m. In the morning, but I was also getting up at 4 a.m. to train. So I was only getting a couple of hours sleep a night. Okay, that's horrible. So I wasn't getting enough sleep because, you know, my body was under so much stress and I wasn't eating the proper food. I was just extremely tired. So wasn't getting enough sleep, not eating the right calories, not getting the right nutrients either, so I wasn't fueling my body properly for what I was actually using. And this was all a learning curve for me. This is why I can, you know, I have so much knowledge on it now, because I've experienced it all, and it's how I've got to, you know, create my method and help my clients go about it the better way, okay? There is always a better way, and I know a lot of you think that, you know, oh, you know, I have to give up all this stuff. But what you'll find is that the healthier you eat, and the less sugar you eat and things like that, you'll actually find that your body, and the more exercise you do, your body will actually start craving healthier stuff. So you actually won't feel like you're giving up anything anyway. So after the 16 weeks of dieting really heavy and feeling like absolute crap, because I was calorie deficient, I wasn't eating enough calories, my body constantly was craving sugar, okay, and I constantly wanted sugar. That's all I could think about was cake, chocolate, and I actually started a bit of a stash. So I every time I went to the supermarket, I'd buy things that I wanted to eat once my diet was finished. And you might have experienced this yourself before. When you've gone on a diet, you couldn't wait to eat, you know, all the bad stuff that you didn't eat throughout the diet once the diet was over. And this is where it's bad, okay, and it creates a really bad pattern of eating and a bad relationship with food as well. So after I finished dieting and after I, you know, finished my fitness model comp, as soon as I got off stage, I just binged all night, and I binged for a week. I remember eating dessert even after friggin' breakfast, okay, because I just couldn't get enough. I just kept binging and binging on chocolate. And I ended up putting on about 10 kilos in the matter of like a week, right? A lot of it was water weight as well, because obviously, I'm not sure whether most people know this, but when fitness models go on stage, or when fitness models go and do a photo shoot, a lot of them fully dehydrate themselves, okay? So just a quick little side note, because you might be interested in this, but a lot of the, you know, magazine covers and fitness models you see on Instagram, Facebook, everything like that, a lot of them go on an extreme diet, or they dehydrate themselves before they actually have a shoot. And the way that I did it, and the way that I was taught by my coach back years and years ago, and mind you, I would never ever do this ever again, but it's called water loading. So basically what you would do is, say for example, if your show was on the weekend, on the Monday you would drink like 10 litres of water, so lots and lots of water, 10 litres of water, and the next day you decrease to 8 litres, and then the next day be 6, and the next day be 5 or whatever, and then by the time you got to about 2 days out, you wouldn't, or I think it was 2 days or 1 day out, you wouldn't drink any water at all. So because your body was so used to getting so much water, it would just flush all the water out of your system, and you'd be fully dehydrated. And what that does, it shows up for your abs, and it shows you leaner, because a lot of us carry water weight around. That's why we always sometimes feel like quite bloated and all that kind of stuff. It's quite normal, right? Our bodies are made up of water. So yeah, so you fully dehydrate yourself. Okay, it makes me sick actually even thinking about this, because I just find it so, it's just so unhealthy, and I just can't even believe that, you know, that's what the fitness industry not promotes, but you know, a lot of people do, and it's meant to be the fitness industry, but it doesn't actually mean that you're fit. You know, a lot of people and a lot of the physiques that you see, you don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and you know, you can't maintain that. You can't maintain that physique. I could not maintain that physique in any way. I'd end up dying, basically. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's not about how quickly you can get there and how skinny you can get. You've got to get to a level of thinking that, okay, how can I change my lifestyle so I can be the healthiest that I can be, lose the kilos that I want to lose, or get a little bit leaner, but get it to a maintenance level and then maintain from there. Not, you know, extreme dieting like I did, right? And then, you know, for 16 weeks or a short period of time, and then once you're done, binge like crazy, put on 10 kilos, and then the cycle happens again, okay? Because that's what happens. A lot of people do that all the time. They diet, binge, diet, binge, diet, binge, diet, binge, and they can never seem to maintain a lean physique throughout the whole entire year, okay? But, I mean, I've managed to do it. I've got clients that manage to do it. It's about balance. At the same time, when I say balance, though, some people take it to the extreme as well. So, you know, when I say balance, they think, okay, well, you know, I've eaten clean for one day, I'm going to go crazy the next day, then I'm going to eat clean. And you've got to, majority of the time, eat healthy, okay? For you to actually get a result, you've got to be eating healthy. Don't expect a result if you're eating crap, okay? Don't expect a result if 80% of the time you're eating crap, 20% of the time you're eating healthy, okay? You've got to be eating healthy most of the time, and you've got to be hitting your macros most of the time for you to get a result, okay? And yes, you've got to put the work in, and yes, you've got to be committed, and yes, you've got to be dedicated to it, okay, for you to actually get a result. A lot of the time people take balance, instead of have balance with a grain of salt, they're taking it to the extreme where, you know, majority of the time they're eating crap or having their wines, or, you know, having the food that they crave, and they're not eating healthy, you know, for the rest of the time, or they're eating healthy for just a small amount of time. You've got to get eating healthy 80% of the time, then 20% of the time you can have that little bit of balance. But then again, some people can't have the balance, okay? Some people need that, need to be restricted, and some people need to be, you know, all in or 100% or nothing. They can't get that balance, okay? But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not about some extreme diet that you read in the magazine. You know, it's not about trying the latest fad, the latest thing that you read about J-Lo's diet, whatever it is. It's about eating for you, eating for your body type, eating for your, because, you know, different people have different energy needs. Like, for example, for me, I need to eat a lot more food than someone who's working in an office all day, okay? Because my job's so active, and I'm on my feet all day, and I'm running around, and I train, and all that stuff, so I need more energy than someone who maybe only exercises twice a week and sits at the desk, okay? So you can't follow someone else's diet and expect it to work for you. So what you've got to do is just get out of this mindset of dieting. Next time someone asks me that, it's just, you know, it just doesn't work. Just don't ask it. Don't go for the latest fad diet. What you've got to concentrate on is changing your lifestyle. As soon as you change your mindset out of thinking that I'm going to get the quickest result I can in the, you know, least amount of time, to I'm going to just change my lifestyle. I'm going to get as healthy as I can. I'm going to start eating to fuel my body and get leaner, change my body composition. That's when you're going to see the results that you want, and that's when you're going to maintain them, okay? Because the thing is about diets as well, you've got to understand, is a lot of them, a lot of people when they diet, they put their body in starvation mode. So a lot of people think that if you eat less and you go on a diet and you don't eat, that you will lose weight. And it's true, you will lose weight, of course, but you're not losing the right weight. You're losing muscle mass, you're losing fat as well, of course, but majority of the time you're losing muscle mass because it's easier for your body to break down. So if you're trying to lean up, create muscle tone, hold on to muscle tone, and maintain it for the rest of your life, the key is to change your body composition. And the way that you do that is eating a rounded diet. So hitting your macros, eating a good balance of protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Don't just get rid of the carbs because you think you're going to lose weight. Yeah, of course you're going to lose weight, but you're going to lose the wrong weight. Okay, you're trying to go the quick way about it. And if you do that, that's fine, but don't expect your results to last. Okay, if you want long-lasting results, you've got to do the work and you've got to change your body composition. So that's why weight training is great, combined with a good diet. That's how you get a good result and maintain it for the rest of your life. Okay, so stop, trying to, I'm just going to cut carbs this week, and I'm going to lose some weight. It just does not work like that, and you're not going to be able to maintain it. Think about it. Think about the last time that you went on some fad diet, or you said to yourself, oh, okay, I'm just going to cut carbs for this week, and hopefully I'll lose weight. Think about how long that it lasted. Think about whether you maintained that, 2 kilos or whatever you lost. I'm pretty sure you would have put it on the next couple of weeks. Okay, so change your mindset, flick the diet, get out of the diet, just get rid of the diet, okay, get rid of it. It's not going to work. What I'm going to actually do is I'm going to pop a link in the comment box below for you guys to have a look at your macros, okay, work out your macros, see if you're actually eating enough, okay. So I'm going to put 2 links below. I'm going to put one so you can work out your own macronutrients. Now when I talk about macronutrients, it's protein, carbs, and fats. So it's the amount of protein, carbs, and fats that you're eating, okay? So you can see what you do is you pop in your age and your height and all this kind of stuff, excuse me, and it'll work out as a basis how much proteins, carbs, and fats you need to be eating in order to lose weight. And I bet you that 99.9% of you are not meeting your macros and you're not eating enough, especially when it comes to carbs. I bet you all under eating your carbs and protein as well. So I'm going to put a link under there for you guys to check that out. Let me know once you do it, if you do it, and let me know if you are hitting your macros. And the second thing that I'm going to put in there is a link to Calorie King. So calorieking.com, what that's going to help you do is use that macronutrients that you get. It's going to help you work out how you can actually hit the macros. I'm going to put a little bit more information in the comments box below because you've got to actually have a look at it to see what I'm talking about. But once you get your macronutrients, for example, if it says, let's just say 225 of carbs, what you're going to do is have a look at Calorie King, have a look at what you're eating each day and see where you can increase it. So for example, you can put into Calorie King half a cup of oats. It'll tell you how many carbs is actually in the half a cups of oats. So it'll actually break down each macronutrients in the food that you're actually eating. So you can actually work out where you're going wrong, how far off you're off your macros, and where you can actually add in some more protein or add in some more carbs or anything like that. I'll pop that link in there as well. But if anyone has any questions about this, let me know. But it's just a fun little exercise, really, to make you guys see whether or not you're actually hitting the macros that you should be hitting in order for you to lose weight. I want you guys to understand and see that most of the time under-eating is actually working against you. And I want you guys to see that how much you're actually under-eating as well. And I say this with a lot of clients, and most of my clients, that a lot of you under-eat. And most of the time when it comes to weight loss, I have to increase the calories. Everyone's just not eating enough. And when you don't eat enough, this is what you've got to remember. When you're not eating enough, you're not eating enough macronutrients, you're not eating the right macronutrients for your body in order to lose weight, you put your body in starvation mode. And starvation mode basically means that your body just stores fat, especially around the stomach. Okay, so very important. Flick the diet, check out what your macros should be or where you should be hitting at, and then go from there and work on that. Work on increasing your calories, work on getting whole meals into your day rather than just eating to fill an empty kind of vessel. Start eating to feed your body the right nutrients, start eating to give your body the right type of energy. And when you're hitting your macros, you'll find that your energy levels will be amazing. Okay, you won't know what to do with yourself. You'll be so energized. You won't get that 3 p.m. dip. You won't get that 11 a.m. dip in the energy either. Your energy will just be it'll just coast along and be level the whole day. I found that when I started to eat, started to get my macros on point and started to actually look at what I was actually eating, I found, because I used to always have a 3 p.m. thing where I always wanted chocolate at 3 p.m. all the time, but as soon as I started eating properly and really hitting the right macros, I found that it went. I didn't have that chocolate craving anymore at 3 p.m. So just a quick little exercise. Click on the links that are in the comments box. I'm just going to pop them in now, but if anyone has any questions about them, let me know, and I'd be interested to see what people come up with. It's a fun little exercise, and just to give you guys a little bit more of an understanding of it. Who knows, you might be totally confused with what I've said, and if you are, like I said before, you can always pop your questions in the comments box. I'm happy to take your questions, and if you're thinking it, chances are someone else might be thinking it as well. But very important, flick the diet and focus on getting whole meals full of the right macronutrients for your body type, for your goal, and then go from there, and let's see how we go. Alright, hope everyone has an amazing weekend, and we'll chat soon. Bye!